On this episode of Real Estate on the Rocks, we're going to talk accountability.
Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
Like the man said, my name is Dave Snowberger. I'm joined in the studio today with Marshall Tucker.
That's me.
And the new guy, James Mendez.
What's going on?
Nothing much. Today we're going to talk a little bit about accountability. Real Estate on the Rocks. What's Real Estate on the Rocks, guys? For our listeners that are just tuning in, who are we? Why are we doing this? I think
Real estate conversations straight up.
Serve straight up. Never watered down. Well, really, it's real estate conversations for agents by agents.
Yep.
FABA. FABA, not FUBU.
Slightly different than FUBU.
Yeah, slightly. For agents by agents. So we're agents in the real estate marketplace, which is the United States. This is where we sell real estate in Austin, Texas, and we started kicking around this podcast. There's a lot of podcasts out there. There's a lot of information out there, and this was something that was relevant to us and a lot of people that seeked advice from us. And so we decided to do a podcast and throw it out there. Why am I telling you this? I have no idea. Just something to talk about.
Because it's time to be accountable to the audience,
to
yourself.
There we go. Wow. People ask me all the time. Like, I actually get this all the time. Like, why did you guys start a podcast? We actually met somebody, an agent that we are recruiting, because that's what we do. We recruit to
Agent attraction.
EXP Realty, which if you are EXP curious, you can reach us at join EXP at 88000. Text us, right? So you text Join EXP to 88000, and I will get back to you personally, Dave Snowberger. We'll get back to you, and we'll talk. We'll have a conversation and compare apples to apples, and see how your brokerage is working out for you and what EXP has to offer. All right, now let's get into it. We're talking about accountability. We're talking about goals. A goal is what, Marshall?
A goal is a dream with an action plan.
Wow, did you come up with that yourself?
I read it on the board.
All right, it's on the board. Why does it say fool at the end?
Goal is a dream with an action plan, fool.
Oh, fool. Because you thought I was going to read it. I'm like Ron Burgundy. He'll read anything.
I saw that out there. I was like, someone's going to read the entire sentence.
Right. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Accountability. Let's talk about this, because accountability means so many things, and I think so many people don't really understand what it means. You know, I mean, accountability for me is I'm certainly, for sure, it's very different from anyone else on my team. So what I have to be accountable for in my life is probably not the same things Marshall has to be accountable for, and certainly James has to be accountable for.
Yep.
And so let's talk about this a little bit, and that way we can offer really 3 opinions on accountability, and maybe how to seek it if you need it. Maybe if you need to lighten up the load on accountability. Maybe you're doing too much. You know, maybe you're over planning. You know, you're over goal setting. Is there such a thing? I think there is.
Yeah.
It could possibly be.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't over goal set.
I don't think it's me. No.
Yeah, I set the bar pretty low for my goals. You know, it's like stay alive. That's about it. Keep breathing.
That's a great goal.
Yeah, wake up.
Until he comes in the office, then about a couple 100,000 come flying out. Everyone else is just catching them.
Right. Yeah, I set all your goals for you.
I had this great idea for us.
Yeah,
I was like,
I had this great idea for you guys. I'll be in my office. Get to it.
like, damn.
All right, Marshall, what's accountability mean for you?
Oh, accountability to me is, I guess, somebody standing behind me with a big stick, making sure I do all the things that I don't want to do when I don't want to do them.
And so that's
sometimes you're holding that stick. Yeah, sometimes it's my wife.
I was going to say, it's more your wife. It's more your wife and your kids with little sticks.
Yeah, they got little sticks, beat the crap out of me. Knees.
Kneecap them.
Nice. So, Marshall, when you set goals, we've been doing this for a while. And when we first met, you and I really hired out of necessity, being that my hair was on fire. I was a solo agent. I was going nuts and I needed somebody. I ran into you at the restaurant that you own. there in Georgetown, Texas. And I was messing with I saw your business cards up there, and I was messing with them. And I took my business card and I put mine over his business card.
I think one of my workers ran over there immediately after you and like moved it back. It was like that movie Labyrinth, when you watch as a kid and the stones change and she's marking them and they move around.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry, kids. All the movies I watch are kids' movies.
Right. So, and we didn't have a lot of goal setting coming in. I said, I hired out of necessity. My hair was on fire and I needed somebody just to fill the seat, and help me with the buyers, right? I was taking so many listings and I had a bunch of buyers and I was just burning through leads that were there of people that were serious people that wanted to buy and sell. And I just wouldn't call them back. And by the time I did, I felt that, that I let them down. And so I didn't have the accountability.
Then we were avoiding them.
Right. Then it went into avoidance, and just kind of like, and then blaming, it's just like, oh, I just wasn't able to get a hold of them, or blaming like, oh, they weren't serious. And who knows if they were or not, but I wasn't holding myself accountable to getting all those things done. And all I was trying to do was just kind of keep my head above water, and so I wasn't being too accountable to myself and when time management and all that goes hand in hand with accountability, and time blocking.
That's
time
my weak
management,
link, time management
and how to do all that stuff. Right. And so, and then we got in, I brought you in and immediately you started working with some buyers here and there. And then, I wasn't holding you accountable to the follow-up. And so you'd go on like one appointment or two appointments or whatever, with some buyers, and then they just fall through the cracks if you didn't know how to ask for the business. Like you take them out to show 10 homes and then come back and be like, well, they didn't write an offer. Well, okay. Did you ask them? Well, no, I just figured they'd ask me.
That's how it works, right?
Right. And so, anyway, so we got into the next year once kind of like the slow season or the busy season slowed down a little bit, and we got towards like the, what was that, like November, December. So we started to slow down a little bit, and I really started reading it into the team a little bit more, and reading the MREA, which is a great book by GK, on how to build a team, and really kind of finally realizing that I had to hold myself accountable to things and be more purposeful about it, and then really get goals going, and then I hired an admin, and that's when we would sit down and we'd actually do goal planning for the year, right? And so, a lot of people do accountability or goal setting through 5-year plans, 4-year plans, a year, 6 months, and we really do it day to day now. We walk in here with our daily goals, we have our weekly goals, and then we have our monthly goals, and obviously our yearly goal. And then obviously somewhere in there, there's a 5-year plan. I don't worry about the 5-year plan much because things change constantly.
Yeah.
So
especially around here.
Yeah.
5 years is
because it's the
eternity.
goals plus the projects, so it keeps us competitive and busy.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the whole thing with like our newest venture, Squirrel Farm Media. I mean that's why I've named it Squirrel Farm. Is for that reason, is that
perfect.
It's shiny object syndrome media is what it should be called, because we're like little squirrels running around the office as we get real purposeful, and then like all of a sudden something distracts us and we're like, oh my gosh, go over here, and well that is a lack of accountability. However, we're better these days about it's like, hey, that's a great idea. However, we do have to lead with profit. We do have to lead with revenue, and so we can't do that stuff until we have money to set aside to do that project, and really money, time, and more people, right? And so that's the constant recruiting to the team or recruiting to their downlines and things like that. So anyway, Marshall, tell me a little bit about when you started being purposeful about accountability, how your career started changing.
Right. There is kind of, I guess, a two-factor there. One would be time accountability. So I had to learn to start moving my time around. At that time, I was working in the restaurant 50 hours at least, and then in real estate. And then when I made the jump over to real estate, I had that flexible schedule.
Oh, yeah.
So, you going to the movies? I got time. You need help at the grocery store? I got time. I had all the time in the world, but I wasn't doing the things I was supposed to be doing, which was out in the field.
Before me.
Well, kind of. I don't know. It was really hazy before you. I don't know. I was kind of just doing my own thing, But like I was telling you earlier, when I first joined the brokerage, I saw everybody walk into the training room. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't realize there was these weekly meetings. I didn't realize that there was property tours.
And this was at the Keller Williams Market Center you were at in Round Rock, Texas. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't realize the process and all that. And then you kind of start learning that, but that's not what you're supposed to be doing either. You're not supposed to be hanging out in the office. You're not supposed to be walking the halls and talking to everyone. I was doing.
You're not?
No. I mean, network a little bit, but that's not where your focus should be. Your focus should be talking with people who can actually buy homes. And I guess the other side of that I was telling you was the financial management, because, I was used to the steady salary, and now I wasn't getting the steady salary anymore. And when combined with that flexible schedule, I wasn't getting any money in either.
Right. Because why? Because
you can't have both.
Right. You can't have what? Name both.
Well, people get into real estate for a flexible schedule or unlimited income potential.
Right. And you can't have both.
You can't have both.
At least when you're starting out.
You told me. You were like, Marshall, come over here to real estate. It's so fun, man. I got a flexible schedule and make a lot of money.
Yeah. Get in the van.
Pick one.
Get in the van. We're doing this.
And then, you start getting a bunch of cash at, one time, and then you blow through it all, and then you go through dry spells again. You're trying to learn how to manage all that.
Yeah, those ebbs and flows we always talk about.
So, I didn't have any experience at the time management. I didn't have any experience at the financial. And so I had to really get those two under control first. And, and everything you add incrementally. So even with the calls, you start off with the 5 calls, and you make it 10 calls, and you make it 20 calls, and you just stack upon, stack upon it.
Right. You just kind of keep.
It's very
like
overwhelming if you just jump in
bigger.
there and try to be a mega agent right away.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's being really crammed down our throats. I think in this business is that we were with Keller Williams before, and they really introduced me to mega agents when I came in. So obviously, what do you want to do, right? And so you see how a lot of these people, you see how they're treated. They get a little bit of, I would say, preferential treatment. People will say BS on that, but I'll debate that anytime. They get a little bit of preferential treatment. There's possibly some lead sharing at the top going on from, maybe the market center, because they all have websites. Where do all those leads go, right? And so where to, it's like, oh, we have to have phone duty. Okay.
I used to get there early in the morning on Monday.
And as soon as we left, and there were people at the top of our offices, there were people at the top that had left also, and we left, and they're like, oh, did you know so-and-so sold so-and-so's house? And it's just like, really? Yeah, they did a private closing in a private place, and it was like, okay, so when I said preferential treatment was going on, and everybody thought I was crazy, like, now I'm not crazy, right? So, but it happens, right? And I would think that we've gotten that, as soon as we hit the mega agent status, we started receiving more because people knew we were closers and we can get the job done. We would get handed literally $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 referrals from somebody that was high up in the business, and say, hey, look, we're going to give this to you with no referral fee whatsoever, because we know that your local knowledge and what you can do. We want you working this. We obviously wouldn't give this to a first-year agent, right? But if a first-year agent got wind of that, especially in a smaller office, they'd probably be pretty pissed, right? You know what that could do for my career? Well, you know how long I had to work in my career to get that referral? Like, come on. Yeah, so I don't want to jump ship on favoritism. However, accountability is what kept us there and kept us strong on that type of stuff. So anyway, back to the mega agent thing. Yeah. I think that's being sold to us at a high level. Everybody looks like they're a mega agent these days, and you get somebody new into the office, they parade around the halls, tell you they're new. All of a sudden, they start going to some trainings, they start listening to some people, and you get some people latch on to mega agents, and within 2 or 3 months, I can say some names right now at our old office. Obviously, I won't. James is looking at me like, don't do it. And I was like, I can say some names right now. There's some pretty cool people used to stop by our office, knock on the door, come inside, and ask us questions. And I would answer them and tell them, like, strategy, this is what you do, this is how you do it, and whatever else. And they would go and they'd get that property, they'd get that listing maybe, or that property under contract. And all of a sudden, they'd have a closing of $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. Next thing you know, they're coming to the office, they got a nice new little shiny fedora on, and they got their, I don't know anybody who wears a fedora. I'm trying to throw you off the scent. I'm trying to throw you off.
Pretty sure James owes a couple.
And so they come in and they have a different aura about them, right? And so now the newest agents that just came in to the recruiting class or around that market center are now looking up to those people. Yeah. And so it's just a farce. And so you're at the coffee machine, and it's not like being jealous, like, nobody talks to me anymore. He figured it out on his own. Like, no, he didn't. We helped him. If it wasn't me that helped him, it was somebody else around the office that helped him, or, It's just, I just saw a quote, and I think it was actually GK was just saying, like, nobody gets anywhere by themselves, And so
that's why I hate the whole self-made millionaire.
Yeah.
That literally does not exist. Like, you were helped. You had people helping you or either working for you or mentoring you in the process.
Right. But you more than likely worked harder than all those people that helped you. However,
but if it's yours, you should be.
Right.
Right. Like,
exactly.
That's like you saying, I should work more than you.
You should.
Then no. Like, I should work more than you on your business than you do. Like, that makes no sense. Who's going to have more passion, or who should have more passion and more drive for you about your, about your business than you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you because that's how I am. I share passion on my business.
Exactly.
I'm rearing every day to come to work. I mean, I question my sanity sometimes. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then before I hit Orange Theory, I'm doing things for work. And when I get home, I'm doing things from work, and I'm listening to a podcast there, and on the way back, and whatever else. And it's just like I can't wait. Like Sundays, I'm just waiting around, just kind of like, I want to go back to work. I want to go back to work. It's not like I miss you or miss Marshall.
He does.
And so I just want
those days I wake up and I call in sick, I can just hear it in his voice.
I want to do more.
You're staying home.
Actually, that does affect me. I won't even lie to you. That does affect me. I'm like, what am I going to do for lunch? It's sad to eat barbecue by yourself. So accountability. I mean, let's talk about accountability. Let's talk about some goals. Let's talk about how you plan those goals. If nobody out there has really heard the acronym SMART goals. What are those, James?
Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based.
Okay, so specific. Let's break that down real quick. So if I say I'm going to lose weight, how do you hold me accountable to that?
You don't.
That's not specific,
no.
Right? So if I say I want to lose 10 pounds by October 1 to go to the EXPCon in Vegas, October 2nd through 5th, and if you want to go give me... No, I'm just kidding.
You get even more specific and say, I'm going to Orange Theory on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 9 until we go on our trip. That's pretty specific.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I've been the past 4 days straight. I'm about to die. I've got one more day tomorrow, and that's my 5-day.
He comes in so busted tired, makes me tired.
That's my game set match. Right? I'll be dead a really long time, so there's no rest right now. Anyway, so let's get into it. Specific goals, nail down specific stuff. So we had some goal setting going on. You and I have had some conversations, and I always had this thing where I do the little air quotes, and it's just like, hey, James, come on into the boardroom, and it's our conference room, and talk about, like, let's have a tough conversation, and it's a lot of people don't want to have the tough conversations. They don't want. They didn't get into real estate to be told what to do.
Yep.
They didn't get in real estate to have a drill sergeant, saying, hey, you need to do these specific things, or, you're out of here by this date. Nobody has the idea to get into real estate for that. They want to get into real estate because they have a flexible schedule. They're their own boss, and they can make, ungodly amounts of money. Yeah. But you can't make the ungodly amounts of money if you don't have accountability from the first two. Yep. Right. So some of our stuff that we had spoke about was, I gave you, it needs to be 10 homes by the end of the year. And so, there's a few months left in the year, and that would be a pretty easy goal to obtain in my eyes. Yeah. Now, you being a little bit newer to the team, you might look at that goal as like, oh, that's huge, because I know that I'll do that, or at least I'll probably even do double that. Yeah. That goal, right? Yeah. So, but I have a lot more leverage. I've been in the business a little bit longer. I've got a great sphere of influence. I've got a 5,000 person database. I've got tons of marketing going on, and we're doing a lot of attraction. And yours is based on really, I don't hand you, right? Even though you're a teammate, I don't hand you anything. You work for it, right? And you earn it. So, and then once you start earning it, things are a little bit better for you. Like right now, there's a lot of favoritism I have with Marshall because I know Marshall's a closer. So when someone calls and they say, hey, do you have anybody over that doesn't wear skinny jeans? And I'm like, yes, I have Marshall.
Marshall wears baggy jeans.
He's wearing shorts today. What a slacker. I bet people out there, Friday. Our listeners out there are just kind of like,
are they really that skinny?
Why is this guy's always ragging on this dude for his skinny jeans, and he probably doesn't even wear skinny jeans. It's just a thing that we pick up on.
They do.
No. Skinny. And his shoes has buckles on them.
Hey, they're nice, man.
Sure.
I love it. You have great fashion. I don't. So I'm a jeans and polo type of guy. Jeans, boots, and polos. That's what I've been wearing since I was 10 years old, and that's what I'll continue to wear until I die.
Shorts and flip flops.
If I could wear shorts and flip flops to appointments, I would all day long. I know that I think what's his name? There's a guy out there, Kevin Kaufman. Is that his name? Kevin Kaufman. Group 4610, pretty big real estate team, but I'm pretty sure he wears shorts and flip flops wherever he goes. Is from what I hear. But that's
you got to set the stage with your clients. That's what it is.
When we open up the office in Orange County, then we'll do flip flops and shorts.
Yeah. I always said the further I go through life, the less clothes I want to wear. And people are always like, "Huh?" I'm like, I just mean I want to end up on the beach like in board shorts or something. You know?
Yeah, why does everyone got to go to the extreme? Like, calm down.
Yeah, last thing you want to see me is in a weenie bikini or something. Banana hammock. All right, so specific goals. Let's get serious now. We've got people out here. They want to hear what we have to say. Let's go.
So specifically, we set a great goal for the team because we like to be accountable to each other, and we like the competition since we're all pretty competitive. So yeah, we set the 10 transactions by the end of the year, and then we've all been just kind of jumping in, trying to pull it from everywhere. So we've been beating the phones again. Reaching out to our network, our sphere,
right,
and trying to pull in as many as we can. I've touched base with people I haven't talked to in months.
Right. So you know the goal because it says right there, that doesn't sound too specific that you're doing a lot of things to achieve this. But however, we know the big goal. We know the one thing that we're chasing right now is 10 listings. I mean, 10 contracts for you and 10 contracts for Marshall to finish out the year. And that's a pretty substantial year. Marshall's had a killer summer, right? And so I've had a great summer, and so if we finish out the year with 30 more deals, 10 each, that'd be great. However, I think we're going to push a little bit further than that.
Probably will.
Which is good and break our 100 for the year. However, so what you're doing there, I just want to be clear, is that we've got the specific goal. Now the measurable, let's get into that. What does measurable mean to you?
Measurables, so it needs to be able to track it. So we are not just saying, hey, we're going to lead our favorite thing that we all hate. Yeah. We're not going to just lead gen every day. We're going through expireds. We're calling FSBOs. We're going through Sphere. We're doing video messaging. So we're doing those things in tandem, all of them every day, but certain ones every day of the week. So we're constantly doing something for at least half the day, if not longer.
And you're keeping track of how many calls you make, how many answers there were, how many appointments we went on.
How many conversations, how many conversations we have. The conversations the first week or two of our plan here.
Yeah.
It will be a lot of conversations. By week 3, we'll start hitting a lot more appointments.
Yep.
And so the appointments will get even more measurable, right?
Yep.
And then conversions from appointments the week after that. So, if we don't get the deal signed right there at the table, then, we start seeing, it starts heading into the weekend. We'll get those texts or those phone calls. We decided to list with you, or we've ghosted you and you're not going to hear from us because we're going to list with your competitor across the street. And so, which happens. That's okay. Or we're going to list with Open Door or one of the other.
Just turn their sign upside down.
Right. Just kidding. Yeah, right. So I'm going to light that thing on fire.
The sign, not the house.
Okay. And so attainable. So now what makes the goal attainable? So specific, measurable, attainable.
Something that's realistically within your reach, but just out of it. So like if you did 20 deals in a year, you're not going to do 25 in Q4.
Right.
Like that's just not going to, more than likely not going to happen.
Right. We'll go ahead and roll our eyes and say it can happen.
It can.
Yeah,
it 100% can. It probably won't.
No.
And you're going to get discouraged by having something too far out of your reach. You need something that's just out of reach that keeps moving with you. So say if you get a good win, so you're doing 10 deals in 4 months and you get 5 in 2, push it out a little bit.
Right.
But keep moving. You can't obviously let off the throttle.
Right. And you have to make your main goal. So I've made everybody's goal in the room 10 deals at the end of the year, right? So if everybody hits 6, would we be happy?
No.
Yes. In a sense, I would. That would be 6 deals from each of us, right?
Oh, yeah, overall.
And so 18 deals to end out the year. That'd still be a great Christmas for everybody.
Yeah.
However, the goal was to set it high at 10 so we could at least achieve the 6. If I just said get 6, you might only get 4.
Stretch
you
goal.
might only get 3. So it's 10's a stretch goal. However, we all know that it's very attainable.
Yeah.
So it's not that far of a stretch. Okay, so relevant.
Something relevant, so something that matters or means something to you and to what your overall goal is. Like if you're having a great year, which would be like maybe 20 or 30 deals for newer agents.
Right.
Make your goals and your actions relevant to the goals. So we need to lead gen, and I need to reconnect with the people that I hadn't spoken to in a while, because for various reasons. Either they stopped responding, or they said, call me in 6 months. We're not moving right now. People who just didn't really want to talk anymore. And I've reconnected with a couple of them. And someone's like, oh yeah, actually I do want to list, but I need to make some repairs. And so I was like, perfect. Okay, let's do that. So that people are coming back around. So what are the relevant things I'm doing for that? I'm logging all my calls, and I'm sending people messages. I'm doing video chat. I'm reaching out to people in different facets than just one way.
Yeah, you're hitting
to try and pull people in.
Right, from all angles. I mean, we hear so much about doing the one thing, and everything else. You have to make the one thing really lead generation, and then you have to have a couple different. Tim and Julie Harris from Harris Coaching do what they call spokes, right? So they have a wheel, and then each little pie. Think of like a Pictionary pie. Remember the little game? And each little pie is something lead gen wise, and so you can have different pie or different wheels for lead generation. You can have different wheels for passive income or just income generation stuff, and so you just set those up nice. So I like that. So time based, and so we put on December 31st. That's our time base. Is if we don't reach our goals by then, you're fired. I'm just kidding.
We made a bet for for something we don't want to do, that we will be responsible for doing that.
The stick and carrot.
Right. So what we did there was that you might want to try this with your accountability partner, is that we basically I came up with the idea of a pleasure versus pain thing. So if they hit the goals, obviously they have the pleasure of hitting the goal, and then what comes with that is the money, the little bit of flexible freedom over the new year or around Christmas time to the new year, and getting into that. Or
it means very little bit.
Yeah. The pain. Well, you have to think about it too, is we're in September of 2019.
Yeah.
We'll make that very clear. This is when you set up and start hammering everything on the phone, and start hammering all your lead generation to set up to have a great launch into 2020.
Yeah.
Right. Into the next year. And so it's always got to set up to be in September. We'll do another episode of how many actual work days are left once October hits.
I say they go fast now.
Yeah, they go fast. I mean, there's so many vacation times
for
and
people
all that
to see.
stuff. Right. Yeah. And so the time based, we know December 31st is our deadline on this, and we're going to push really hard to hit it all. And we have weekly, we have like daily accountability conversations. So we start every morning off with script practice, where we stand in a circle and we talk about scripts. We actually run some scripts on each other, and we talk about our goals, and we talk about our affirmation of the day, and really kind of accountability. And so I know where these guys' heads are, and gals that are on our team. I know where everybody's heads are, and I can hold them accountable and say, well, hey, how are you doing this? Or how are you out of the office for 4 hours doing, working on this, when you need to hit this goal by the end of the week? And so, I can hold you a little bit accountable, and you're like, you know what? You're right. I had a moment of laziness. I had those all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, moments of, people have moments of weakness. I have moments of laziness where I go through a week of being lazy, or 3 days being lazy. Yeah. And what lazy to me is just really taking in more content,
Yeah.
So anyway,
sometimes you need to get out. It's good to take breaks to kind of clear your head. Like if you're pounding the phones and working, take a lunch break out of the office.
Yeah.
Get away from everything. Don't answer your phone. Just stay away from everybody. Just relax, or listen to music, whatever you relax on doing. Get away from the office. Get your food. Get in the mood again, and then come back into it. That helps.
Yeah, and work in increments too. We had talked about that, that we were setting timers, and I know there's some apps out there that we downloaded. Marshall just uses a timer, but where we work for about 45 minutes straight, and then take a 15-minute lap around the building.
Yeah.
Or grab some water, grab another cup of coffee, and then get back to it.
Yeah.
And you do that 3-4 times a day, and so it shrinks down the purposeful time to work right there, and that's a really good drill down way to time block.
Yeah.
And so there's plenty of apps out there. We'll post them on Top Shelf Agents, which you can find us on Facebook, the Top Shelf Agents network page. We can post a few of those apps out there if you want to do the time blocking stuff. But that would be a great investment in agents when they first start coming into the business. Is I think more brokers and team leaders and coaches should really be purposeful about setting setting up time blocking classes and how to be a little bit more structured. That would go over like gangbusters. Everybody may have heard episode 26, 27 with Steve Fole.
Mm-hmm. No, 23, 24.
23, 24 with Steve Fole. Yep. Steve Fole was this guy that, I mean, he's a fantastic real estate agent. He's retired now, and he's retired young because he did what he needed to do as a young agent to earn money, to reinvest it and get out of the business and, sit on some wealth. But he was a time planner like I've never seen. He has a little like briefcase thing where he pop open and you'd ask him, "Hey dude, you want to go get a beer?" And he'd reach down and grab his day planner and pull it out. And he's like, "Nope, got an appointment here and 7:00. I can be there by 8." Or he's like, "I can't have a beer until next Thursday." And it's just like, really? Like, you're that far? And he's like, "Oh yeah, this is filled out for the rest of the year." Just kind of like, yeah, meet with this agent here. Yeah, I mean, he is. But that was, remember, he shared the story about his brother sending him. He thought he was going to do an open house, and his brother's like, "No, you're going to whatever, time blocking school." Yeah. And he's like, "Is that a thing?" Like, yeah. He's like, "Yeah, that's a thing. You're going to go." And he's like, it changed his life. Yeah. And he's just very purposeful. And I, like me, I'm squirrel. I mean, I'm the CEO. The president, the chairman, and whatever else, the squirrel farm. Like, I'm just running around all the time thinking of new ideas, and it's hard for people to keep me in my chair, And on top of that, I have to sell real estate at a high level. Yeah. So I can fund all these fun little ideas I have of like Squirrel Farm Media or Wilco Eats, all this cool stuff that we do. So Marshall, tell me about your specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based goals.
It's pretty much everything that James said earlier. The only thing I would add to it was maybe on the relevance. It's, if you got a goal to get the 10 deals closed by the end of the year, working on your logo and working on your website and doing all the things that aren't actually going to put you in front of somebody, that's not the relevance you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. But so many people are fooled by that because they think it's relevant to sit there and
traps
try to
and putting nets up.
Right. Yeah. And try to create a better mousetrap to get people into it. And while they're doing that, they burn 40 hours
in a week. You got to be a hunter, not a gatherer.
Yeah. So I like that.
I just came up with it.
I just came up with it. Shot from the hip there. I'm even more pleased you like it,
I invented that comment.
Yeah. Prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong, yeah. Well, here it is. Marshall Tucker said it. All right, so what else do we got for today, fellas?
Start small. And then build it up, add on to it. Like we said, small amounts at a time. You can't just jump into it with all these huge dreams and goals. I mean, you got to chop it up.
Yeah. Okay. I've got this right here. I just started thinking about this, and I want to develop our coaching program even further. Right now we have some private agents from, there's a few of them from around the U.S. where I coach them, and I take conversations once a week with them. So I want to try to open that up real quick. But I'll go ahead and throw out that I've got 4 open coaching spots. The coaching calls would be on a Tuesday afternoon. It would be every week. We'll do a solid month of coaching, and we'll see if we can't put you into action, hold you accountable, and come up with a plan for you to have a little bit more success. To do that, I would say text me at text Top Shelf to 88000, or you can text me on my phone at 512-773-6461. We've been developing this coaching plan for about a year now. We're just about to launch it. It's getting exciting, and I would love to run a trial run on at least 4 people out there that are new agents that are struggling, that can't seem to find their way. I would love to work with you and love to help you and get you into action and show you that there is hope out there. If James Mendez can make it, anybody can.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. If I can make it, that's the real thing. Right? If I can make it in real estate,
I think that's true for a lot of people, though. I think a lot of people came in like, I'm killing it, and then hit walls and be like, oh shit.
82% fail out rate. Yeah. 82% fail out rate.
So that still blows my mind. Like, just thinking about how many, even since I met you guys in our old office, since then, I mean, majority of my group when I first came in out of the business out of the business. And then the next couple classes that I kind of met some people out, the majority of the people that I knew coming in, I don't know. There's only maybe a handful that are still practicing real estate.
Dude, this career is not for everybody. Crazy. And that's the thing, is it's being sold one way, on the outside, but once you get inside to start working and you find out really how hard it is to, really gear down, buckle down, and get into action in the things that you have to do, the relationships. And there's all sorts of lead generation. Like if you don't like to make phone calls, you don't necessarily have to. But you can't not like phone calls and not like open houses and not like talking to people and not like texting and not like Facebook
not
and
like
not
real
like
estate.
anything.
But still like money.
Get the hell out of the business. And then you still sit there and talk about flexible schedules. And I'm not saying this to be mean, but stop wasting your time. I mean, go out there and why struggle with it? Why stress out about it? Just let it go and go get a salary job somewhere or an hourly job even. I mean,
there's tons of things you can do. You could, that was a conversation I just saw online that they're like, well, what else can you do? And they're like, you can do a ton of things. You can be.
Hold on that. I want to do another show on that. I want a whole another show on that. So yeah, sorry. I mean, we could keep it going, but we're already about 35 minutes or so.
Yep.
And so that one was a really good one because I've always said that just if being a real estate agent is not the only thing you can do inside of real estate to make money. You can do so many other things, and so we're going to do a whole show on that. So I'm so glad I tripped over that article too.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, I got 4 spots open for a coaching call. For coaching calls, there'll be 4 in a month. It'll start in October, the first week in October. Actually, we're going to be at EXP.
Yep.
EXP Con in Vegas,
baby.
And so we'll probably be gone for that. However, I will maybe do the call the week before and then give you about 2 weeks worth of homework and then get up on it and start going. And I will get you into action in a week. If you like what you see, we're going to offer our coaching program. It's affordable. It's really all based on your success. We obviously can't have a coaching program if we're not putting people into success, right? If we're not putting people into action and they're not, having repeatable, scalable, and building their businesses, there's zero reason for you to be in a coaching program, right? Yeah. And so there's so many coaches out there running around the space, and there's so many people trying to cram Facebook ads down your throat and all this other stuff down your throat. And we'll just simply talk to you and tell you really what you have to be doing to survive in this business and get past that 82% to stick around more than 2 years.
Yep.
And I don't care if you've been in the business 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You might have way more experience than me. However, if you want help in getting your business back on track, let us know. Text Top Shelf to 88000. All right, guys. All right. I want to talk our mortgage real quick. Mortgages. Mike Harrell, we always like to thank him very much. Mike Harrell at Guaranteed Rate. You can reach him at info@realestateontherocks.com. You just tell us you want a conversation with Mike. We'll hook it up. And then what else, guys? That's about it. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Don't forget to smash that 5-star button on whatever podcast channel you listen to. So thanks again. We'll see you next time.
I'm out.
Say bye, James.
Bye.